Today, we're diving into a story that kicks off with a legendary coach getting fired, completely out of the blue. But stick around, because where it ends up, well, it reveals this absolutely wild pattern around one of the biggest superstars on the planet. You are not going to want to miss this. So it really all comes down to this one single question. What does one lost trophy have to do with a potential superstar's curse? I know, it sounds super dramatic, right? But trust me, the answer is genuinely shocking. All right, let's set the scene. The date is January 11th, 2026. The place? Saudi Arabia. The energy is just electric. You've got the final of the Spanish Supercopa, and it's El Clasico, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. The stadium is absolutely roaring. You can feel the tension, and the whole world is tuned in. But you know, the real drama didn't even happen on the field. Real Madrid loses a nail-biter 3-2, and then, not even 24 hours later, bam, the bombshell drops. The club announces that manager and club legend Xabi Alonso is out, fired, less than 8 months after he took the job. Just wow. Now, as you probably know, in the world of big-time football, the official story is almost never the whole story. The club's press release was a masterclass in PR spin, but what was happening behind closed doors? That was a whole different, much messier situation. So here's the official line. It's the classic corporate breakup script, right? Mutually agreed to terminate the contract. They thank him, they call him a legend, they say Real Madrid will always be his home. It's all very polite and tidy. But the truth? It was anything but. Because what the media was reporting was a totally different, much darker picture. The whispers about Alonso being on thin ice suddenly became a roar. The team's performance was all over the place, and there were stories everywhere about him clashing with huge stars like Vinícius Júnior. But the real killer was the phrase every manager dreads. He had lost the dressing room. And the final nail in the coffin, that moment of clear tension with Kylian Mbappé right after that final loss. This wasn't just about losing one game. This was a total meltdown. And this is where the story gets really fascinating. Because Xabi Alonso getting the boot isn't just some random event. Nope. It's actually the latest piece in a bizarre puzzle that stretches all the way from Madrid back to Paris. A puzzle that has one man right at the center of it all, Kylian Mbappé. First off, let's be absolutely clear, Mbappé is a genius, an absolute generational talent, no question about it. PSG's all-time leading scorer, a trophy case overflowing with titles, a World Cup golden boot. I mean, the list is just insane. His individual achievements are staggering. But if you look at his career from a slightly different angle, a whole other story starts to appear. So let's just build this out for a second. We're talking about a span of 8 professional seasons. And we're focused on one single legendary superstar, a player who has absolutely defined this era of football. And in that time, he has seen 6, that's right, 6 of his head coaches get fired before their contracts were up. Just let that number sink in for a moment. 6. And look, this isn't some fan theory. This is the hard evidence laid out right here. It's a matter of public record. You've got 4 coaches at PSG: Emery, Tuchel, Pochettino, Galtier. Then the pattern literally follows him to Real Madrid with Carlo Ancelotti in 2025 and now Xabi Alonso. Through all of that chaos, all that turnover, there is one constant: Mbappe. So that leaves us with this incredible question. Is this just the most unbelievable string of bad luck and coincidences in sports history? Or is there a consequence for having a player this powerful, this influential on your team? Is he just a magnet for drama, or is he the storm itself? I mean, this just shows you how volatile it is. At one end, you have Xabi Alonso, who didn't even make it 8 months. And at the other end, the longest any manager has lasted with Mbappe in his senior career is Thomas Tuchel at just 2.5 seasons. And even he got fired in the middle of a season. You know, maybe Tuchel himself gave us the biggest clue as to why this keeps happening. Right before he was fired from PSG, he said this: "In the first few months, I felt more like a politician or minister of sports than a coach." That quote says everything, doesn't it? It just speaks volumes about what it takes to manage a locker room with massive personalities like Mbappe and Neymar. Okay, so we have to be super clear on this next point because it's important. It is totally unfair and way too simple to put all the blame for a manager getting fired on one player. These clubs are huge, complicated beasts, and when things go wrong, there's always plenty of blame to go around. Which, of course, leaves us with the €100 million question. Is Kylian Mbappé just the unluckiest superstar in the history of the game, constantly finding himself on teams that are imploding? Or is his talent, his gravity, his influence so immense that he actually becomes the eye of the storm itself, a force of nature that, for better or for worse, creates instability wherever he goes? What do you think?